Video game prices over the last decade have quietly climbed into that $80 to $90 range. And honestly, it doesn't even matter anymore if a game is great or just average. The price tag still hits your wallet the same way. On consoles, that's mostly just how the market works. But on PC, things are different. Steam regularly steps in with solid discounts and genuinely good bundles. And right now, with the Steam Winter Sale live, this is one of the best times to actually build up your library without overspending. So in this video, I'm going through 10 games that are absolutely worth picking up during this sale, whether you missed them earlier or just want great value for your money. Let's get into it. First up, we have Batman Arkham series. When I think of superhero games, I think of Batman Arkham series. Rocksteady Studios, the guys behind the games, took a risk when superhero games were not popular. And now, Arkham Batman is one of the most famous Batman out there. Arkham Asylum was the first game in the series, and they really reinvented the idea with it. The story was good, the gameplay was unique, and the combat was the most highlighted part of the game. Then came Arkham City, a genre-defining title introducing many of Batman's allies and villains. It is also the best title of the series. And finally, the Arkham Knight, featuring much larger part of Gotham and additional playable DLC missions for other characters. The Arkham game's gameplay set a new standard for superhero action. Its free-flow combat style flows smoothly, letting you punch, counter, and use gadgets without ever breaking rhythm. And when you switch to stealth, you genuinely feel like Batman. Quiet, calculated, and always one step ahead. Add gliding across the city and grappling between buildings, and it all ties together into a fun experience. Right now, it's sitting at 85% off, bringing the price down to $8.99, 202 rupees or €8.99. Next on the list is DayZ Gone. DayZ Gone had a rough launch back in 2019, with technical issues and mixed reviews holding it back at first. Over time, patches significantly improved performance, and the game slowly earned a much more positive reputation. At its core, DayZ Gone is an open-world survival game that blends third-person shooting, exploration, and resource management. Riding your bike through a hostile, post-apocalyptic Oregon is a core part of the experience and sets the tone for the entire game. Combat feels tense, especially when facing massive freaker hordes that demand planning rather than brute force. The story centers on themes of loss, loyalty, and survival, slowly building through personal, character-focused moments rather than non-stop action. What truly keeps the game alive today is its dedicated fanbase, which continues to praise its world-building, emotional depth, and unique horde mechanics. Despite never getting a sequel, DayZ Gone remains a cult favorite among players. You can grab this one at 50% off, which puts it at just $25.99, 1,499 rupees, or €25.99. Moving on, we've got Detroit Become Human. Detroit Become Human is set in a near-future world where androids have become a part of everyday life. The story follows multiple interconnected characters, each offering a different perspective on what it means to be human. The narrative explores themes of identity, freedom, and morality, constantly asking the player to question their decisions. Gameplay focuses heavily on choice and consequence, where even small actions can lead to drastically different outcomes. Quick-time events, exploration, and dialogue choices replace traditional combat, making every moment feel tense and personal. What truly sets the game apart is how visible your decisions are, with branching paths that show just how many ways a scene could unfold. This creates a highly replayable experience where no two playthroughs feel exactly the same. With a 90% discount, the price drops all the way down to $3.99, 199 rupees, or €3.99. After that, there's Dead Space Remake. Dead Space is a sci-fi survival horror game that drops you into a terrifying space setting where isolation is just as deadly as the enemies. The story follows an engineer sent to investigate a radio-silent mining ship, slowly unraveling through environmental storytelling, audio logs, and unsettling discoveries. Gameplay focuses on tense, strategic combat, encouraging players to dismember enemies rather than simply shoot them, which keeps every encounter stressful and deliberate. Limited resources, claustrophobic corridors, and an oppressive atmosphere make survival feel earned. The 2023 Dead Space remake modernized visuals, audio, and controls while staying faithful to the original vision. It also improved pacing and added subtle narrative depth, making it the definitive way to experience the game today. At the moment, it's discounted by 85%, so it's only $8.99, 449 rupees, or €8.99. Coming up next is Dishonored. Dishonored is a first-person stealth action game set in the dark, plague-ridden city of Dunwall, a world inspired by steampunk and industrial Victorian themes. The game gives players a lot of freedom, allowing them to approach situations through stealth, combat, or a mix of both. Its gameplay is built around supernatural abilities, creative level design, and multiple paths through each mission. You can choose to move silently, avoid enemies entirely, or deal with threats more aggressively, and the game reacts to how you play. The story focuses on themes of revenge, power, and consequence, told largely through atmosphere and environmental details. One of Dishonored's standout features is how your choices affect the world, subtly changing enemy behavior and the overall tone of the city. This makes every playthrough feel personal and highly replayable. It's currently on sale at 75% off, making it $4.99, 249 rupees, or €4.99. Following that, we have The Forest and Sons of the Forest. The Forest series is a survival horror staple that throws players into harsh, unforgiving environments where you must fight to stay alive against cannibalistic mutants and other dangers. The original The Forest drops you into a mysterious wilderness after a plane crash, tasking you with basic survival such as gathering food, building shelters, and defending yourself against hostile inhabitants. Its sequel, Sons of the Forest, expands on that formula with a larger map, more crafting options, and smarter enemy AI. Both games feature solo and co-op modes, letting you build bases, hunt, and explore with friends while fending off terrifying mutant threats. Looking ahead, Forest 3 was officially announced at the Game Awards 2025, but no release date has been shared yet. Unlike its island-bound predecessors, Forest 3 appears to take the series into a sci-fi survival horror setting, beginning with a spaceship crash on an alien world while retaining core survival mechanics players love. Fans are excited and curious to see how the classic base building and crafting will evolve in this new direction. Thanks to a 77% and 69% sale, you're paying just $13.88, 524 rupees, or €12.84 for these. Another game worth mentioning is DayZ. Continuing the survival theme seen in games like The Forest, DayZ takes things in a much more grounded and unforgiving direction. Set in a vast, post-apocalyptic open world, DayZ strips survival down to its basics: food, water, health, and trust. Gameplay is slow, tense, and deliberately punishing, where every decision matters and even small mistakes can cost hours of progress. There's no traditional story being told. Instead, the narrative is shaped by player interactions, random encounters, and the constant threat of other survivors. Exploration, scavenging, and managing injuries are core to the experience, with realism playing a major role in how systems work. One of DayZ's most defining elements is its multiplayer, where cooperation and betrayal are equally possible, making every encounter unpredictable. It's not a game that holds your hand, but for players who enjoy raw, emergent survival, DayZ offers an unmatched experience. With the ongoing sale, it's 55% off, bringing it down to $22.49, 1,574 rupees, or €21.59. Up next on the list is Stray. I've actually covered Stray before on this channel as well, and it's still one of those games that really sticks with you. Stray is a unique indie adventure game that puts you in the role of a stray cat navigating a beautifully crafted cyberpunk city. Instead of combat-heavy gameplay, the experience focuses on exploration, light puzzles, and environmental interaction, letting players move through the world with natural, cat-like agility. The game's biggest strength lies in its atmosphere, using neon-lit streets, quiet moments, and subtle storytelling to create a strong emotional tone. Stray explores themes of loneliness, curiosity, and companionship, all told without long dialogue or exposition. Developed by the indie studio Blue 12, the game stands out for its attention to detail and its fresh perspective within the adventure genre. While relatively short, Stray leaves a lasting impression through its music, world-building, and heartfelt approach, making it a memorable experience even for players who don't usually gravitate toward indie titles. It's part of a 40% off deal, so the current price is $17.99, 749 rupees, or 16 euros and 79 cents. And then there's Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Sekiro is set in a fictionalized version of Japan during the late Sengoku period, blending history with myth and folklore. Unlike traditional Souls games, Sekiro focuses heavily on fast, precise sword combat built around deflection, posture, and timing rather than stamina management. Every fight feels like a duel, rewarding aggression and mastery instead of caution. The story centers on loyalty, honor, and duty, told through quiet moments, character interactions, and environmental details. The game's theme of perseverance is reflected directly in its mechanics, pushing players to learn from failure and improve. While challenging, Sekiro is a great entry point into the Souls-like genre because of its clear combat rules and focused progression. It may be demanding, but once the rhythm clicks, the experience becomes deeply satisfying and memorable. After fully completing Sekiro, it's one of those games I genuinely appreciate more over time. Right now, this one's discounted at 50% off, landing at $29.99, 2,498 rupees, or 29 euros and 99 cents. And the last game on the list is Hogwarts Legacy. If you missed out on the free claim of Hogwarts Legacy on the Epic Games Store, don't worry, you can still catch it on a decent sale on Steam. Hogwarts Legacy is an open-world action RPG set in the magical wizarding world long before the events of the Harry Potter books. You create your own student, choose a house, and explore a living, breathing version of Hogwarts Castle, Hogsmeade, the Forbidden Forest, and more, all richly detailed with secrets and side content to uncover. Gameplay blends spellcasting combat, potion brewing, exploration, and customization, allowing you to shape your own path through classes, quests, and magical encounters. Traversal is a standout feature, riding broomstick, hippogriffs, and thestrals to explore the environment. Moving through the world feels dynamic and fun. The story invites you to unravel mysteries, form alliances, and grow in magical power without relying on familiar characters from the books. With its detailed Hogwarts and varied activities, it's one of the most immersive Wizarding World games to date. At 90% off, this drops to a really solid $6.99, 469 rupees, or 6 euros and 99 cents price point. And that wraps up the list for this sale. If you're looking to pick up something new without spending too much, hopefully this helped you find a few solid games worth grabbing. Let me know in the comments which ones you're planning to buy, or if I missed any great deals you'd recommend. If you enjoyed the video, a like really helps the channel, and subscribing means you won't miss future sale breakdowns and game recommendations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.